two, one.
Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. We are International Trade Student Group 17 Season A211 want to present our group project related to trade financing facility that provide in RHB Bank. I am Diana Balki. We start this presentation with the overdraft facility. So basically, overdraft is a type of loan that has been standby by the bank and is not necessarily used by its customer. These loans are categorized as demand loans because the borrower needs to prepare to make repayment at any time. This overdraft facility allows borrower to withdraw money in excess of the amount available in their account, but based on the credit limit set by the bank. So withdrawal can be made at several times based on the amount required by the customer, as long as it does not exceed the credit limit given. The amount of the credit limit depends on the collateral that the borrower offered to the bank. However, the calculation of the actual amount of this credit limit is determined by the bank that offer the facility. The approval process of this facility is very complicated because it's the demand loans that require a stable financial flow to be able to pay the amount at any time. Overdraft interest rates are usually higher than mortgage loan, but the interest rate will be charged on the amount that has been used only. Repayment of the loan is not through fixed installment, but can be paid at any time and will be determined by the bank. Overall, an overdraft can be an option for short-term financing and if you are in an emergency situation and need immediate finance. In my opinion, we should not use the overdraft facility to cover our daily expense as it is a type of loan and not extra money in our account. In business, overdraft are usually used but it is requires strong business finance.
My name is Nur Shamira Balkis binti Syafi'i, matric number 27880. Advantage of overdraft. Okay, first, a perfect for mismatch. When a payment date arrives before or receivable, overdraft are very helpful. Second, prevent bouncing check. With a bank account overdraft, we can prevent bouncing check. Third, enable on-time payment. No payment are late due to the insufficient funds because the overdraft shoulder the deficits.
For this part, I will talk about the general process of letter of credits. Step 1. Issuance of LC. Importers apply to issuing bank to issue LCs in favor of exporters when both parties have agreed on the contract and its usage. The issuer sends the LC to the advisor. Such a bank may be located in the exporter's nation. The advising bank validates the LC and sends it to the exporter. Step 2. Shipping of goods. After receipt of all LC, the exporter is expected to verify the same to their satisfaction and initiate the goods shipping process. Step 3. Providing documents to the confirming bank. After the goods are shipped, the exporter presents the document to the advising or confirming bank. Step 4. Settlement of payment from importer and possession of goods. The bank then transmits them to the issuing bank where they are paid, accepted, or negotiated. The importers pays the issuing bank once the paperwork is verified. So, the importer may take control of the transported items. So now, I will go about more details about how this LC works so you can understand it better. So, it is called a letter of credit when the buyer goes to his bank, which is called the issuing bank. Further, the LC is sent to the advising bank, which is the seller's bank. They check the LC and send it to the seller. Then, in the next few days, the seller will be able to ship the goods he will also get a bill of lading and other important documents while doing so. These documents will be sent to the bank where he is negotiating, and then he will send them to them. The negotiating bank will make sure that all of the rules are met before paying the seller. In addition, the negotiating bank will send the issuing bank all the documents they need to do their job, which again the issuing bank will send to the buyer to make sure that the money is real. Last but not least, as soon as buyer says that he will pay the bank, we can move on. Lastly, then the issuing bank will give the money to the bank that is negotiating the deal with the issuing bank. That's all. Based on what we discussed just now, we can say that letter of credit is safe way to pay for things that happen when you do business with other countries. In most cases, letters of credit are irrevocable and cannot be cancelled without the agreed consent of all parties.
My name is Nur Atifah bin Razak. My matric number is 268128. I will present about the advantages of letter of credit. Firstly, is highly customizable. Based on a letter of credit, the both party of a trading partner will put in the term and condition with their requirements, so the both partners can customize their requirements. The next is quick to execute for credibility parties. These advantages mean that letter of credit is quick to be executed, which mean that the exporter can withdraw the fund with agreed by both parties and can resolve the disputes later in the court. Okay, next is a seller receives money on fulfilling the terms. In this condition, issuing bank can be independent or trading partners' obligation and any dispute arising out of those obligations. A bank can check it if the document was submitted by beneficiary certified in the term and condition in letter of credit. The next is a safety expand a business. This mean that letter of credit in trading has ability to transact with the unknown partners or newly parties for establish the trading relationship. Last but not least is a payment assured in a disputable. In this condition, the exporter can withdraw the fund as agreed upon in the letter of credit and resolve the disputes later in the court. Besides that, there are many another advantages in a letter of credit.
My name is Nur Safazri Nadia Betika Rusale. My matric number is 280197. Now I will explain about bill discounting facilities. Bill discounting facility is the credit facilities made available by the bank for the benefits of the borrower, which can be used by the borrower for the purpose of discounting and receiving payment under certain invoice drawn in favor of and payable by the eligible trade customer in order to meet borrower's working capital needs. Bill discounting facility is a good fit for working capital finance needs if have as housed or are unable to get credit limits from banks because don't have collateral or because the process is long. The buyers wants a longer credit period but agree to this mean it will have a currency crisis and more leads for export order are coming in but don't have the resources and money to serve them. Bill discounting can be a huge benefits to the export business sale because it doesn't require any collateral and can be done quickly. Cash flow is the vital resources of any growing export business. There is the process of bill discounting facilities. Firstly, the company issue invoice to the corporation for the product or service they have provide. The invoice credit period tenure is usually between 30 and 120 days. Secondly, they bring their invoice to the bank for invoice discounting and handle collection efficiently to avoid delay in collection and lower the risk of collection. The company then provide invoice to the corporation for the thing they have provide. Finally, they receive payment from corporate. The businesses complete many business cycle.
The next presentation is about advantages of bills discounting. Firstly is quick cash. The bills of discounting method is more quick and faster to pursue the cash than apply loan in banks, but it takes a lot of time in credit appraisals of a borrower. Next is a reduced collection period. This is referred to the times that taken by account receivables to realize into the liquid cash. Next is a release look cash. The bills of discounting can release cash was locked in customer invoice for the long time of period. Next is improved cash flow. In bills discounting provides improved cash better than advance invoice amount receivables to be converted into the cash and provide it shorter in working capitals. For the next advantages is no asset as collateral. It means that cash can obtain without use any asset as collateral. Just customers are yet to pay submitted into the transaction. Next is win-win situation for business. The borrowing company can get cash it needs whereas the customer given the credit period. So in this situation, it will help to boost relationship between customer and the borrower company. Then is no effect on business relations. The relationship between seller and buyer will not manipulate in the bills of discounting. The company will not involve in correspondence with the buyer. And last but not least is control. The seller has a right to control over the sales receivables and manage the credit terms of or collecting the payment.
I will continue with an example of a product that RHB provide related to overdraft. In RHB, they have a Power Business Loan Overdraft. This product is a short-term financing facility that allows customer or so-called as account holder to withdraw or use money in excess of the amount in their account according to the what we call as a credit limit allowed. The interest rate on this financing may be variable due to the base lending rate and will change accordingly as published by the bank from time to time. Customers that use this facility need to ensure that the payment of interest charge on amount overdraft utilized and commitment fees of 1% on unutilized overdraft is on time. The interest will be calculated based on the prevailing effective lending rate on a daily rate basis and will be charged at the end of the month. So the collateral that can be offered to obtain this facility is property, fixed deposits and guarantee from government or syarikat jaminan pembiayaan perniagaan. Customer that apply for this facility or product must have guarantor from the company's director or team management. You know what? If you apply for this product, you have to pay other charges which are stamp duties, disbursement fees, legal fees related to loan documentation, valuation fees, and also cancellation fees if the facility granted is cancelled at any time after the acceptance of the loan. Let me tell you guys what will happen if you fail to fulfill your obligation. First, you can be penalized of 1% per annum on the installment, and this can causing your total outstanding to increase. If you fail to make payment for 3 months, the financing rate may be increased by RHB Bank. Legal action also will be taken against you if you fail to respond to reminder notice. This situation may affect your credit rating, leading to credit being more difficult. So you need to think rationally before applying this product. You also need to take note of your financial flow before using this product.
Basically, there are 4 features of letter of credit, which is LCs. The first one is negotiability. The person being paid has the right to do so because of the letter of credit. This contract is distinct from any economic arrangement that necessitates a letter of credit. So, it is critical to study the tiny print. To be negotiable, the letter of credit must state that it will pay at a certain time. This feature allows negotiable notes to be transferred like money. Second is revocability. When a letter of credit is written, it can be changed or not changed at all. You could cancel your obligation to pay at any time or for any reason with a letter of credit. An irrevocable letter can't be changed unless all of the people who are affected by it agree to do so first. Third is site and time drafts. It is possible for a letter of credit to make you obligated to pay if you can see it or if it has passed. It must be paid when the letter brought in for payments. It is important to pay a time draft when it is due. In both cases, the bank can check the letter of credit to make sure it is due. Lastly is transfer and assignment. UCC regulated domestic letters of credit can be transferred as many times as desired, and they will still be valid even if they are not used. If the letter of credit says it can't be transferred, that doesn't mean it can't be transferred. If no one has yet done anything based on the letter of credit when the transfer takes place.
Next, I will explain about letter of credit in RHB. Letter of credit in RHB give exporter peace of mind that they can get money for their goods. It also helps with working capital and take over the risk of not being paid by the issuing bank. If the letter of credit issuing bank and country limits are not met, a letter of credit cannot be used. It also has to be used on an individual basis. It is available to customers who are appointed as beneficiaries of the letter of credit. The letter of credit must be against RHB. As you can see, there are many good things about using letter of credit in RHB. The first benefit is it can cut down on the risk of not being delivered or being late. Second, it can make sure that goods are delivered on time and in the right condition. RHB also gives you access to financing options through RHB Bank's wide range of financing products. It can also make the buyer more believable. Then, RHB issued of a letter of credit that was enforced by the rule of the International Chamber of Commerce. This letter of credit can be issued to any supplier in the world in major foreign currency.
Eligibility overdraft facility. First, must a Malaysian citizen. If a non-Malaysian citizen, they must bring a legal work permit. Second, a starting age from 21 years old and around 50 years old. Income requirement, the minimum income of requirement 36,000 per annum. And fourth, no joint account holder. Okay, is they want to receive, they want to apply, they must visit RHB nearest branch, and then they give a form application, and this is For obligation, next, customer obligation. Customer obligation, after they apply and receive the overdraft facility, this is their obligation. Minimum monthly requirement 50% per annum on the utilized amount, calculated daily, debited monthly. Over limit interest 24% per annum on the amount in excess of the limit amount and penalty if defer in payment on the due date. That's all from us. Thank you for listening.